So we are here for a special board meeting, October 24th at 5:50. Let's stand and say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And we're going to go ahead and follow that up with a moment of silence. All right, Mr. Martin.
All right, thank y'all so much for being here. I forgot to put this on the October agenda, and I know we have a hearing right after this, so I thought this would be the perfect time. I have Miss Young here on Zoom in case y'all have any questions, but we have Miss Madison McDonald. She is our DECA VP in Arkansas for marketing, and they have their their national convention in Washington, D.C. on November the 9th through the 13th. What we're requesting is permission for her to travel with Alma School District, who's going. We have traveled with them, I think, 2 or 3 times in the past. They do an amazing job. And Miss Young cannot be there. She recently had a baby. She needs to stay home. But Alma School District is good with it, and so is Mr. McDonald, Madison's dad. So, Miss Young, do you have anything to say?
Just that can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just to reiterate, I do have all the paperwork, permission slip, form signed. Mr. McDonald did write me an email. I was gonna scan all of that during my prep to Mr. Martin today, and then the good old electricity went out. So I did not get to do that, but I do have copies of all of that for everyone as well. And you know, we went on this trip almost every year now, and it's just a great opportunity for Madison to get to advocate with our state legislators while she's on this trip, with DECA and CTE and all the things. And so, just to give you some background of the things that they'll be doing while they're there.
And what safety precautions do you have in place already when you go on these trips?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Hold on. Hey, Tiana, Jessica asked, what safety precautions do you have in place?
What safety precautions?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm in touch with Miss Seiler, so obviously, phone-wise, we have that connection, but while she's there, they always take an administrator. So Miss Seiler will be there obviously as the Alma DECA advisor, but they also have an administrator that they always have one that fights over to go on this trip just because, you know, Washington DC and all the things that they get to do there. But she'll be staying with other Alma students as well, so she'll be a part of those room checks.
Okay, that was what I was going to ask.
And that's things of that nature.
Miss Young, hasn't Miss Seiler served as the state advisor and done this trip with students that aren't her own before?
Oh, yes, for sure. She's also, in the past, she's kind of retired from this part of it, but she's also been in charge of a lot of national conferences through DECA, and so she's one of the only ones that I would even trust sending my kids with, just because she's literally been there and done that and got the t-shirt on all across the board.
And any political activity that's going on, major political activity, something that could be a safety issue, something I know when the kids went in for Washington D.C., they watched a lot of the news, see what was kind of going any during that political activity. They were making sure that there was nothing violent towards going on.
Hey, Tiana, did you hear Jessica?
I'm sorry, I'm not wording
Yes,
that.
Okay.
anything that Miss Seiler or Sherry Seiler, she wouldn't take, if there was anything going on, they would definitely take that part out of the conference. She is very, so I would say definitely my mentor. I've learned a lot from her, but she's always kids come first, safety priorities first, and she's booked these meetings with our state legislators, and the kids have been working on their pitches, so to speak, because they lead the meeting. But she would not hesitate to cancel those if there was anything going on whatsoever that would put anybody in danger.
When is the trip again?
It's November 9th through the 13th.
It's right after midterms?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I think they travel on the 9th, and conference starts on the 10th. I believe that's what I read on the itinerary. Is that right, Tiana?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And who's financially responsible for this, Ms. Young?
The student,
Okay. All right, any further questions?
she gets a stipend from the state because she's a state officer, and this is one of those conferences that they would like students, the state officer team to go to, with her being VP of marketing, and so she does get a stipend from the state of $250 that goes towards her registration or plane ticket or whatever she wants to use it towards.
My daughter had the honor of serving for Miss Styler as a state officer for DECA and went on this trip without her high school advisor. And all the events that are even optional in the evenings, like restaurants and all, are all pre-approved through the DECA organization. So even like, for example, if they have an opportunity to go to the zoo at night or the National Portrait Gallery, they're all been approved through DECA.
Okay.
So they're not just, there's very little freedom for personal selection, if that makes sense. So all the things have been vetted and approved.
Do we know how many students are traveling and how many administrators are going to be with them supervising?
Hey, Ms. Young, did you hear that?
I heard something about students.
Do you know how many chaperones they're going to have?
I know they have at least two, Miss Seiler and then her male administrator, whether it be her principal or assistant principal, but I don't know if there's any more going.
Okay. I think the question was also, do you know how many students from Alma are going?
I want to say she has at least 8, but that could change.
Okay. So with us, it would be a total of 9.
Correct.
Okay.
And they're all high school age?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, any further questions? All right, so we'll entertain a motion.
I'd like to make the motion that we approve our student attending the DECA trip to Washington DC for November 9th, 2022 through November 13th, 2022 with all school rules.
So we have a recommendation. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Adam. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Jess will second. All right, all in favor? Any opposed? All right. All right, so now let's recommend a motion for leaving. I can't talk today.
Adjournment.
Adjournment, thank you. One of y'all?
I'll make a motion.
Adam. Second, Mindy. All in favor? We out.
Okay. Thank you, Tiana.
Thanks, Ms. Young. We